Sorry about the delay, everybody. And anyway, welcome to the second Meet MMM event, Make the Most of Marriage. We now have 119 participants. I guess a lot of those are couples as well. So there's quite a lot of people here, which is exciting. Yeah, so there's of course people that I introduced myself last time, but also there's a lot of new people. So for the people that don't know me, my name is Daniel Lindström. I am Swedish American. I grew up in Sweden, and I now live in London with my wife Emma, who's English South African, and we got three little kids, 8, 6, and 3. I run my own health food company here from the UK. That is, we are still in business because people need food and they need to be healthy right now. So we're doing all right in this economic climate. So that's me. Yes, and also because there's a lot of new people, I just do a quick intro on Make the Most of Marriage as well. So obviously it is a FFWPU Europe Middle East initiative. So Orlande is the person who asked for this event to start. So she recruited myself and a few others, which I will introduce shortly, to start this event, and obviously to be an online event. Sort of the mission statement for this initiative is creating a thriving community of fulfilled blessed couples, which I think is a very good mission. And obviously that circle, we are focusing on this monthly event where we have a key speaker and we have group discussion. And this is where this is where our focus will be for the time being, but we hope to do other events as well in order for blessed couples to connect across borders and in those online space. And as I said earlier as well, we haven't been affected by the whole coronavirus situation because we are already in the online space. So we are extremely grateful for that. So let's say, I don't know, for the people that don't know Orlande, maybe Orlande can wave and say hi, unmute yourself. Where's Orlande?
Sorry, hi everyone.
There
Happy
she is.
to see you all. Hi. Thanks for coming.
Fantastic. Nice to see you. And then we have Abigail, who's tuning in from Ireland.
Hello.
With her husband, Victor. We got Andy and Francesca, who have both been working hard on the technical side to get everything growing now. Are you guys here? Are you guys alive?
Yes.
Yeah, you're alive. Hey everyone.
Stress levels at 110 right now because they just had to get this sorted. Anyway, thanks for getting it sorted. So it's all working now. And our speaker for this evening is Patrizia, who is also on the MMM. So I will introduce her as the speaker as well, but she's also one of the members of Make the Most of Marriage team. So I'm going to go into introducing her now. So there she is with her husband, Franz. Patricia's been working in the BFT area for quite some time. I was interviewing her earlier just to get clarity. So she's been working now for 8 years in the BFT area. Sort of, I was going to say she's been following the sort of the principal approach, going from her couple to her town to Italy and to Southern Europe now. And now we're doing this kind of, and now you're on the European level. Patricia working here on an MMM. So she has and she's been doing a great job doing that, and she has a lot of experience helping and supporting couples. And her husband Franz is responsible for the first generation matching, and he's a first generation matching supporter. So I with nothing else to do, I would like to introduce Patricia. And on the topic of safe conversations.
Good evening, everyone. This is Patrizia speaking for MMM. I'm very grateful to be part of this team, and tonight I will talk about safe conversations, improving communications in our relationships. The topic that we've been choosing tonight is perfect for the situation we are all living in for coronavirus. This special time give us the opportunity to think about our own relationships and to improve family relationships and communication. So coronavirus give us a special time to help, and it helps us to create more love, more connection, and to even reach the level that we actually improve and heal each other. The founder of Safe Conversation are Arwil and Helen Hendricks, and they invite us to strengthen the communication in our life, and they invite us to join them to heal relationships, heal the family, and heal the world. They were actually on the edge of a divorce when they discovered themselves a safe conversation, and they truly believe that safe conversation can help people so much. So even though they are quite old already, they are touring the world bringing this structure and teaching out people, having workshop about safe conversation. So coronavirus give us a special time to help, and it helps us to create more love, more connection, and to even reach the level that we actually improve and heal each other. The founder of Safe Conversation are Arwil and Helen Hendricks, and they invite us to strengthen the communication in our life, and they invite us to join them to heal relationships, heal the family, and heal the world. They were actually on the edge of a divorce when they discovered themselves a safe conversation, and they truly believe that safe conversation can help people so much. So even though they are quite old already, they are touring the world bringing this structure and teaching out people, having workshop about safe conversation. We actually had a workshop on safe conversation last year. This workshop really helped us a lot to understand many dynamics that were present in our own family. And I have to tell you, it was a big present for us. Here's a slide that shows our family. We were blessed in 1989 in Korea. We moved together in 1992. We have 3 children. We live in Italy and we are working to support BFD. We are both passionate about couples life. Let me share now some content from True Parents. This is somehow like a mantra for me, these 2 sentences that keep my life together. And Father said, "The kingdom of God does not begin from tomorrow, but from the present moment." Through the blessing, God is planting the seed to healthy relationship all over the world. I absolutely believe that through the blessing we can really, truly change this world. And through safe conversation, we can help each other. Let's see another sentence that True Father says about relationship. True Father's words on relationship actually written on 1969. I have observed a tendency to neglect relationships among people today. Limiting a relationship only to greetings in the morning is easy, but our relationships, even with our neighbors, must not be limited to just greetings or knowing each other's faces. When we look deeply from the standpoint of God's will, relationships hold great significance. Yet, the reality is that we do not treat relationships with much importance. We actually had a workshop on safe conversation last year. This workshop really helped us a lot to understand many dynamics that were present in our own family. And I have to tell you, it was a big present for us. Here's the slides that shows our family. We were blessed in 1989 in Korea. We moved together in 1992. We have 3 children. We live in Italy and we are working to support BFD. We are both passionate about couples life. Let me share now some content from True Parents. This is somehow like a mantra for me, these 2 sentences that keep my life together. And Father said, "The kingdom of God does not begin from tomorrow, but from the present moment." Through the blessing, God is planting the seed to healthy relationship all over the world. I absolutely believe that through the blessing we can really, truly change this world. And through safe conversation, we can help each other. Let's see another sentence that True Father says about relationship. True Father's words on relationship actually written on 1969. I have observed a tendency to neglect relationships among people today. Limiting a relationship only to greetings in the morning is easy, but our relationships, even with our neighbors, must not be limited to just greetings or knowing each other's faces. When we look deeply from the standpoint of God's will, relationships hold great significance. Yet, the reality is that we do not treat relationships with much importance. In this slide, actually, you can see the Chinese character for listening. It is very interesting. Maybe many of you can read the Chinese ideograms, but it was so interesting to me to see the Chinese character of listening. Because you can see ears is included, of course, to hear, mind to think, eyes to see, heart to feel the other person needs, and most of all, undivided attention, which is such an important focus point to have whenever we share with other people. And the main things about safe conversation is actually talking without criticism, listening without judging, connecting behind differences. What it really did, safe conversation, to me and to our family, mainly safe conversation helped me a lot to see my fallen nature. Safe Conversation and Original Human Nature is the title of these next slides. So, practicing safe conversation woke me up in a reality to see deeper what are the main points of fallen nature in my own self. I came to realize that it is nothing different than finding my way back to my original nature given to me by God. It is a shift from fallen nature to original one, because you are really literally taking off criticism, judgment, misunderstanding, and conflict. And you are basically caring for the other person and trying to bring the deepest part of your heart together. So, what is the definition for safe conversations about a relationship? As you can see on the slide, the definition of a relationship is 2 people and the space between them. So think about, how do we handle a conversation? What are the most important ingredients in our conversation? And so we realize that we must first care for the other person, showing love and be there 100%. It is very important, the concept that safe conversation brings about the space between us. And I'm gonna read now what is meant by the space between. Often in relationship, we are so concerned with protecting and defending our own fragile egos and identities that the space between ourselves and the other person is of a little relevance. It is almost as though two people exist who each feel that they are the most important one of the two. So, in a way, we are many times missing unconditional love. Yet, in any and every relationship that we create in life, there exists a space between. This is the psychological, emotional, and sacred, holy space that is created between you and I. It is not me, it is not you. Instead, it is a meeting of both. It is in cultivating the space between that any and every relationships can become fruitful, harmonious, and long lasting, rather than bitter, argumentative, cranky, and ultimately painful. So, what is safe conversation teaching us about the space between? The space between is a holy place and is exactly where I care the most. And it's a special place, it's exactly where I meet the other person. So, what shall I bring into this space? What are the most important ingredients? The most important ingredients are love and time. And actually, time is such a very key point. If we can see from the slide, time is the way of presence. And I don't know if any of you know Thich Nhat Hanh, but he's pretty famous. This is an amazing sentence that teaches us how important is time in a relationship. So when you love someone, the best things you can offer is your presence. How can you love if you are not there? So, our main goal is actually to learn true love and is to practice true love daily. True love is indeed so wide. So, through safe conversation, we can actually understand much more and think about what do we really put into this space between, and is at the end is what we gain from the other person. So this COVID-19 is actually helping in a way, even though it brings many bad things, but it can also help us to stop, reflect on our relationship, on what kind of relationship do I have with my husband and wife, and what steps shall I take. A big help came to us as a couple last summer when we went through this workshop of safe conversation. A workshop of safe conversation, and any workshop held by Helen and Arville, the creator of Safe Conversation, always starts with a pledge. We are all familiar with a pledge or with pledges because we are doing it constantly in our church. And when I read this pledge, I actually felt very blessed to be able to sign such a pledge and to start a different relationship with my family and with my spouse. I will read it together with you just to let you know what is written here. Zero negativity pledge. And I urge you to think about signing it as a couple. It is very interesting after you sign this pledge, the the situation that will come out in your own family. Just do it and see. So, zero negativity pledge. I pledge to make my relationship a zone of zero negativity for the next 30 days by omitting from all my interactions with others any words, tones, or body language that could be experienced as a put down, though rupturing my connection. If I experience a rupture, I will send a gentle signal to say that I have experienced a put down and use the repair process to reconnect. I pledge to give 3 appreciations daily to my spouse, children, friend, no matter what. So I have to say that based on zero negativity pledge, my communication at home had a change. Before I was coming home many times with different kind of feelings, and I was actually in my heart there was anger and frustration, and that what I was realistically bringing to my family. Signing this pledge, it made me much more confident and mindful on what I'm really bringing to my family. So, based on a zero negativity pledge, we can in reality cultivate the space between us and create a beautiful space where people can meet and feel understood and feel the value that each one of them has. So these next slides cultivated the space between into the future, help us to develop our relationship and make it powerful and stronger for our future. You can try to apply zero negativity pledge even just for one day or for a few hours, and you can see the differences. The principle into the zero negativity pledge are zero negativity, no blame, no shame, no criticism, and absolutely taking responsibility. This is very similar to the principle behind unconditional love. What kind of attitude should I have when I talk or when I listen? In committing to nourish the space between with kindness, positivity, you are committing to nourish your relationship itself so that gradually it may morph into something happier, more beautiful, and definitely worth keeping. These are some of the words I wrote on this slide, and just putting the attention into the space between. Rumi said, out there, behind ideas of right and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. This is a condensed expression of what is the space between. So let's come now to the slide of safe conversation process. What is this process at the end of the story? It's such a simple process, yet really deep. It's a deep way to reach the heart of another person and meet their needs and heal their heart. If you would like to create a healthy relationship in your life, then look at what you are putting into them. Become aware of your own responsibility to shape what is in that imaginary box you are holding together with the other person. Imagine you are creating a masterpiece, and like any work of art, it deserves respect, love, time, and focus. So, what is safe conversation process exactly? Safe conversation goes through appreciations, which are really important, especially before starting any deep moment of conversation. Mirroring, many of you knows mirroring from other concept like the marriage course brought the concept of mirroring, and I know many of you know marriage course. Then it goes to the process of validating what it was just saying, emphasizing, and finally expressing gratitude toward the person who just spoke. Let's now look at the structure of safe conversation. The structure works in this way. One of you is the sender and the other the receiver, of course. And then you switch roles. This is also a very important point because both should be able to express themselves. What are the rules of the sender? So the ones who is taking the first step in speaking. So first of all, we should ask an appointment. This is a very key point because maybe the other person is not ready to talk in that moment. So please ask an appointment and make sure that both of you are on the same page. Then sending the message that you want to talk about in short sentences. Another very, very key point is using I language whenever I talk, so it is not judging. and making no criticism of the partner. It's such an important and critical point. Finally, the sender should thank the receiver for listening. What is the receiver role? What are the receiver steps? So, first of all, the receiver should listen very carefully and really investing time and heart, as we say before, mirroring what is just had listened with different kind of words such as let me see if I got it, you said, did I get that, is there more about that. I underlined this sentence because it is another key point in safe conversation. If we ask at one point after mirroring, is there more about that, this question has so much power to open up the heart of the other person. And so you will see even deeper into the person's life, and it's a surprise sometimes. Second point, should validate what you just receive as information. That makes sense, and what makes sense is empathizing. This is very important, and it actually safe conversation develop even your empathy. And during this situation, during this phase, you should just imagine what the other person is really feeling. And is that what you are feeling? This is the question. Are there other feelings that you want to share? And finally, to thank the other person for sharing so deeply. Normally, we end this process of safe conversation feeling love for one another and embracing each other, especially if you are a couple or if you do that with children. One important thing is to know that safe conversation works even if the other person does not know the process, does not know the scheme or the pattern of safe conversation. Um, this was my experience anyway with my own children. So now, what I suggest you all is to experience it. As you can see from this slide, there are three main things that open up into safe conversation, which is practice mirroring, and this is safe conversation itself. So you should mirror back to the person who is talking to you, and this point is actually giving the other person a feeling of being seen and being heard. Being seen is one of the key points in our life. So many times we were not heard, we were not seen, even from our own parents. And this is what we keep in our heart and we bring into our relationship, this kind of suffering. And we should heal this part of our heart. Safe conversation brings also to practice this zero negativity pledge. And into practicing this zero negativity, we should also be able to turn from judgment to curiosity. This is a very important thing, to be curious of the other person, to be curious of what this other person has to say to us and the way he is presenting. If any negative feeling comes into our conversation or daily, an important thing is to come to the point to apologize and restart. Another very key point, as I say before already, is affirmations. So we should be able to give 3 appreciation a day to our spouse, to our children, to anyone that we have a relationship with. So this will find ourselves looking for things to appreciate rather than to judge. So in a sense, we are rewiring our own brain, and this is the miracle of appreciation, to appreciate others. Even true fathers say we should find 10 good points before saying a bad point to our spouse. So, what kind of energy do we experience into this space between after practicing mirroring, zero negativity, and affirmation? Is actually the energy of warmth, of love, and even God really wish to live in this beautiful space we are creating. Coming now to the point of giving you the work. So here there are two exercises. The material will come also from Andy from MMM. You will receive a package with different things, and in these things there is your homework. The homework is based on these two main exercises. I found them really effective into my life. The first one is my early relational challenge, and this exercise will help you discover your relational challenge, your early relational challenge. And the second one is my early relational need. So you will discover, based on the first exercise, what are your relational needs. This is especially good in your intimate relationship. So if you do this exercise, it will really help even your intimate relationship. The purpose of doing this exercise is to shine light on your experience as a child and knowing better who is near you, having a deeper connection of heart, sharing in your space vulnerability, honesty, compassion, and acceptance. I come now to the next slide. As you can see, it's another exercise. This is a little bit more funny. It's about discovering your characteristics in a couple. The founder of Safe Conversation are using a lot of symbolic animals or things from the nature in these to compare with couples life. In this exercise, they are using a turtle and a hailstorm. So please do this exercise and try to discover in your family, in your relationship, in your couple, who is the turtle and who is the hailstorm. You will find everything about this exercise on the notes you will receive from MMM. As I consider the turtle and the hailstorm, I have to say that actually my husband is definitely a turtle and I am definitely an hailstorm. Identifying who you are is the key to a greater relationship, as I say in the next slide. As the turtle becomes more stormy like and the hailstorm becomes more turtle like, balance is restored. Actually, in many ways, you can also be two turtle together or two hailstorm together, but in any way, you have to work on yourself. Giving our partner what they need grows new qualities within ourselves, which help us build psychological and emotional strength. That can we do, this is what we can do for each other, acting as both catalysts and companions on this journey is the true mystery and miracle of love relationship. I wish for all of you a good try on Safe Conversation, a good journey. Take the ride and be happy, and actually to really be confident that our relationship is eternal. So we are here to make it great, to make it better day by day. So I leave you with the last slide. Give your relationship time and attention so that they can grow into what they are meant to be. Thank you very much for listening and have a blessed time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Patricia. I think, yeah, now we can't see everybody, but you can put your cameras on again, I think. But thank you so much for the talk. If anybody has any questions based on what they heard and saw, then you can ask them now. I personally really like this concept about the space between, and I myself have a lot of use for that just generally in life, because yeah, it puts you in a, yeah, you put on a different perspective where you don't see the other person yeah, you see the other person, but you also see the space between, and we see what kind of energy am I bringing to that space, or yeah, it's not about, yeah, it's not about you and the other person, it's about it's about what we create, the synergy you create together with your spouse or anybody in any group. And it's, yeah, so if you like, you imagine almost, I imagine it like a box, and it's like in every relationship you have a box, and what are you putting into that box, and what are you putting into that box over time. um, and yeah, and it's really good to be aware of that kind of thing, and especially in your most intimate relationship. I hope everybody can everybody hear me? Can everybody wave if you can hear me? Fantastic, fantastic. Let me see if we got any questions.
Yeah,
And
they
also,
basically ask if they can have the pictures, the slides. Yes, you can have everything. There is a
fantastic. You
package
can have, yeah,
coming. You can
package
have
is coming,
everything.
and also some of the exercises at the end that you could do with your spouse at home.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Uh,
Exactly.
it, it's very difficult to condense all this content in 20 minutes, but I hope they can understand the heart behind.
Absolutely. No, there was a lot of some really good juicy bits in there. So, okay, the questions are coming out shortly. So we'll yeah. So today we're doing it where we're divided into random groups. Pretty exciting. It's like, actually, that Patricia was saying that, we're letting God intervene here. God will decide who goes into what group. I think it's an exciting way of doing it. So we're letting that decide the groups this evening. So see how we go. I will be in a group, and I think some other people on the committee as well. And yeah, so we'll have a nice 20, 25 minutes together in the groups. So yeah, because we're running a little bit late because we started late. So I think we'll go into the groups now. The questions have been posted now to everyone, and yeah, we'll see you in the groups. Welcome back, everybody. I always like seeing all the videos after everybody's screens afterwards. I feel the energy is high. People are buzzing a little bit. People are happy. It's good. It's nice to see. I feel like the group discussions are good. They're thriving. So we should keep that up. So do feel free to join back in the groups afterwards. Also, I said that last time, but also don't be offended if people can't join the groups afterwards. Either they might have kids that they need to attend to, or they might need to get up early tomorrow morning. But for the people that have time and want to, and feel free to join the groups. Is there anybody who wants to share something from their group? Maybe write something. Just say yes on the chat. Maybe if you want to share something from your group, just maybe a like short 2 minute or something like that. Any feedback? Let's see. Any takers? See. No, no, yeah, it didn't work last time either, so that's okay. So we'll I'll share a little bit. I'll share. Well, I can share something from our group anyway. We had a pretty good discussion. I thought it was interesting. I think, yeah, there was one chat about sort of male female differences, which is quite interesting. I think one of the conclusions is that I think men we start a little bit behind going into an intimate relationship because socially a lot of men have not had the training. We're not allowed to share before we get into a marriage relationship because often we're in a groups. Yeah, it's not socially acceptable in many male groups, and we might not have had parents that we could talk to or siblings, and sort of yeah. I'm not saying in every relationship, but often. And actually, that's also even in my own life that was the same. So my wife was my first sort of really intimate, emotional relationship. So I've learned a lot over the last 10 years, I can tell you. Um, and whereas, yeah, for women, often they encourage to share their emotions and be intimate on the emotional field. So they kind of often have that more developed. So that was one of the things. Oh, okay. Yeah, Rafael wants to share something. Go ahead, Rafael. 2 minute.
Hello. Yeah, don't worry. I think it's going to be shorter. No, it's just really nice to share. We had a very a good mix in the group of different kind of situations, and yeah, it was just nice to share with each other about how we trying to handle conversations. And actually, yeah, I think our conversation really went into this masculine and feminine, and how they also interact with more public and private focus, and how to create more harmony in that, how to really focusing on having a common vision, and a lot where we all shared that actually when we focus on a kind of a public goal, but by doing it together, that's kind of the moments where we had a lot of great experiences instead of like separately doing something public. Or yeah, I don't know if you can hear me because I cannot.
Yes, I mean I can hear you anyway.
Okay, great. Yeah, just wanted to share that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, we have time for one more. If anybody wanted to, I couldn't see that one people raised their hands, but yeah. The other thing. Okay, so one more thing from our group. I think yeah, Gukson in our group and his wife. Yeah, he shared about yeah, being the present. We of course we talked about the space between, but there was also a question about being present in the relationships, and he realized it's, yeah, I mean we're talking about how it can be hard sometimes after stressful days to really be present, and also like, you know, if you're doing something else and you're listening, and you could be saying yeah, or like you could be sort of listening, but actually it's often not so good, or you miss something, or it's much easier to forget what the other person is telling you. And when you come into a situation later on, when that information becomes very vital, you know, if they shared something very intimate with you and you sort of listened, yeah, it's easy to maybe to hurt the other person, or to have some kind of major miscommunication, which will lead to you know, a fight or something, you know, bad things in the relationship. So it's important to yeah, like Patricia said, make that appointment with the other person, and ask the person if they're ready to listen. I think it's good, can be good, or to be straight up with your partner if they start sharing with you and you feel like actually I can't really be present, just to tell them that I really wanted to listen to you, but I'm completely stressed from my day, and maybe can we talk about this, you know, in an hour, or tomorrow at lunch, or something like that. And I think, you know, and I think your spouse will be happy with that kind of suggestion. Great. Patricia, do you want to say some final words?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I'm so sorry the audio was terrible, I heard, but I hope that through the slides and through the material you are getting, you can find out something more on what it is safe conversations and what can these do in your life. This is yeah, there was a question I've seen, but it's actually, the question was
about how to apologize.
Yeah, how to get back to the original status after doing something. I don't about apologizing, user repair process. Yeah, they ask about explaining something more. Yeah, this is another aspect of safe conversation. Actually, it works by doing like again the process of safe conversation, asking again, can we talk together? I have something to say, and then you can start to apologize. And it's basically, if you try to follow, if you don't follow the whole structure, because I can imagine it's quite difficult, but at least follow some points, to be present, to, and if you cannot be present, to apologize. Sorry, I cannot be there for you now, I'm too tired, I have something else to do, can we just talk tomorrow, something like that. And then you can have the right moment to share and to talk about what you felt. But I think the exercise, if you do it, also we were talking in our group, if you do the 3 exercise you receive, you will discover a lot about yourself and about your partner in a very, very simple and quick way. And then you can feel differently. You can approach the person in a different way. That's
Fantastic.
all. I really want to send you a big hug from Italy and keep you safe.
Fantastic, and thank you once more for your talk. Yeah. If you can wave to Patricia, I would say a thanking wave. It's fantastic. And and the material will be sent. The slides and exercises that in there will be sent out to everybody. I think I might. Did somebody even post it here? I couldn't see that. But anyway, you will get it, so you can read through it again. I think some of the slides were quite a lot of information on them, so you can go through that again. I want to make a quick announcement, which I thought was a great opportunity for all blessed couples. I've led the marriage course here in Bromley before a few times, and also spread it online. And I think a lot of people in our community have done the marriage course. However, Nikki and Silla, who's part of HTB, have just created an updated version of the course. And also due to the coronavirus situation, they decided to run it online and offering it for free, which is pretty cool. So it is available for anybody to register. Actually, I had the link here, but I'm not sure exactly how many spaces they accept. But if you haven't done the marriage course, if you want to do it again and you want to see, like I said, they've updated it now, so there's new material. It's starting next Monday, 7:45 London time, so 8:45 mainland Europe kind of time. And I definitely recommend it, and I encourage everybody to be part of that. Emma and I have signed up for it. it'll be our I think it'll be our 3rd time doing it. It's good. You learn something every time, so it's really good. Great. I'm seeing if somebody had the link. Actually, we'll send it out to everybody as well. It's on. I shared it on the Young Blessed Couples Network. I will share it on the Facebook group.
I posted it. I just posted it.
Oh, Orlande, where did you post it, Orlando?
In the chat.
Oh, you did. Okay, the link. Okay, yeah. Perfect. It's in the chat, everybody. Click the link now. No,
sign up now.
Sign up now. Now's your chance. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously, hopefully they have a large Zoom account as well and will accommodate a lot of people. But who knows? Who knows? Great. So, yes. So I don't know. Did Patricia? Who should end the meeting with a prayer? I don't know. I remember hearing something about France, but I'm not sure.
Okay, a short prayer.
Oh, very short prayer. Okay, good. Okay, let's join in prayer together.
Good evening, our parents, our heavenly parents. We thank you so much for all the love you share with us, that we can feel uplifted, that we can feel your spirit, and we can feel that you really care so much for us and for our well-being, for our happiness. Happiness can just come if you're real with us. So please accept our invitations to all families who participate, that you can be with them and bless them with wisdom and with a good spirit, with a good preparation for their future, that their couples can become the most happy couple on earth. We pray now for your protection on MMM, and that brothers and sisters can really take out the most of it. We pray this now, all in our names, and in my name, Franz Kerschbaum, my blessed central family. Adieu.
Adieu.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Now there is optional extra group chat. So Andy and Francesca will put everybody back into their groups. Yeah, but anyway, otherwise, anyway, thank you for coming. I hope everybody will come next time. Please spread the word about MMM. We do have a large Zoom account and accommodate more people even. And yeah, have a great rest of the week, everybody. Take care.
We will have the recording.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
If
Thank
you want to say
you.
that
Thank you. Bye bye, Rafael.